Okay, this is what I'm doing. I tipped it over. This is called Japan Gold Size. Um, it's for using and applying gold leaf or gilding. You see, I have several bottles because here's what has a tendency to happen. I use this stuff and then I don't wipe the lip of the bottle and then it seals closed. So when I want to do it again, I can't get the top off. And so this one I could. So what I try to do is put like Vaseline, wipe it carefully and put like Vaseline around the lip so I don't waste it. I mean, this stuff, look at this, a bottle almost full, but I can't get the top off. I probably could if I got a pair of pliers. I'm just not going to do it right now. This one, I was able to get the top off. You can see there's been some hardening, but underneath it's still liquid. Yeah. The other materials I'm going to use to do this are some terpenoids for keeping my brushes clean, which I'll put in a little jar. Of course, if I can get the top off this one. There we go. Had to stand up. Okay, I just poured that in here. And then some brushes that are dedicated to this, because once I've been using these in this gold size, I'm not going to paint with them again. So I'm going to use I think this one. Now maybe this one, because it has a little more of a shape to it. I'm going to just dip it in and apply it. Now, some people will put a coat down of something first, like a primer first. But this surface is non-porous at this point. So here's what I'm doing. If you see, I'm just painting this gold size where I want this stuff to go. I'm going to redirect this camera. Let's see if I can do it so you can see it without me holding it like that. All right, yeah, there you go. Sometimes I pour a little into a container of the sizing into a container. But then once again, I end up with containers that I can't open later because, man, I'm sure other people, let me see that. I'm sure other people are way more professional about this. Okay, so this is me applying a little sizing to the area that is going to get the silver leaf. Very carefully, because this stuff, once it gets to the right consistency, it'll grab on and hold to the metal leaf. Now, I have a project I do with a dear friend of mine called the Ancestors Finger Mark Project, where we apply gold leaf to bricks where enslaved children left their finger marks when they were making the bricks. And I apply gold leaf to those bricks to honor the makers of those bricks and to highlight their finger marks. When I do that, I do a different type of priming coat on first on the brick, because the brick is porous and it creates a good surface to apply the sizing to. But in this case, this Masonite board that's already been covered with acrylic paint is smooth enough and sealed enough for me to work directly on it. You see. Now this was a little darker here, and that's because I had considered using colored pencil instead of as a way of delineating this symbol. So I played with it a little bit, and I could have, but I decided I just wanted the silver leaf for this layer. All right, so I have applied it there, and I'm going to do a couple of more. Now this Sizing is going to start to dry. And at a certain temperature or a certain tackiness, I should say, dryness, is when I apply the silver. So I won't be able to do this whole board at once because the sizing will maybe have dried up completely in some spots and I won't be able to use it and I'd have to do it again. So I'm just doing a part of the board at a time. Oh, this is exciting, isn't it? Watching my brush just move across the board. But that's how this is working right now. I first started using sizing because basically a friend of mine, he's a good friend, his name is Paul, he used to do furniture refinishing. And when he retired from that business, he started giving away lots of his stuff to friends. And in a package of tools and things that he gave me, there was a package. There was some gold leaf. There was gold leaf and sizing, and it was 23 karat gold. And I thought, ooh, this is fun. So I started to play with it, and I loved it. I loved it. I loved how it added another element to the work that supported my sense of the sacredness of the work that I'm doing. And then I was hooked. I bought more real gold, and then I was like, oh, I can't afford that. And that's when I moved to the faux gold. But the faux gold looks wonderful depending on how you treat it. On my painting, The Collard Queen, that is the faux gold. But, that piece is 5 feet tall. And I couldn't put 23 karat gold on that. Still, the amount of gold leaf that I applied was not inexpensive. Not quite gold leaf I applied was not inexpensive, but it served its purpose. And also, the true gold comes in like 4-inch by 4-inch squares, and the one I've been using comes in 5.5, I think, by 5-inch those squares, which covers more ground. I should pay attention to what you're seeing here. That is the interesting challenge to sharing what's in my studio, because sometimes, I'm just so lost in my own head and in my process, I forget that I'm sharing it and that you might not be able to see everything I'm doing. And this has been so often for me such a private process. It's kind of weird to share it. Okay, 1, 2. So once I finish this section, I'm going to let them dry to the right tackiness, and then I'm going to show you. You see this? Okay. Then I'm going to show you the application of the leaf itself. So, now that I've got this gold sizing on here, I'm committed now. If I say late, nah, I don't want to do that. Too late, too bad. This is on here. Well, I could just let it dry and leave it alone, but it's also now altered the surface of the board, and it's almost like, it'll be like almost like shellac on the board. So I could let it dry and not apply anything, but I don't want to do that. I've committed, and I'm all in. Sometimes, you can plan a piece all the way out before you do it. And sometimes I'm sort of letting it unfold. And this one, I knew how I wanted to start. I knew that it was my mom. I knew it was my parents' wedding. I knew there would be a void where my father is. I wasn't sure about the symbols. As I said initially, there was Sankofa in the original image. I wasn't sure if I was going to use symbols. I wasn't sure if I didn't know what I was going to do with that. I wasn't sure, well, about a lot of stuff, and that's stuff that I just allowed to unfold while creating the piece. You know, always thinking about it, just sort of letting it happen in the back of my head. And actually, what I was doing was listening to a book totally unrelated to my work. I was actually re-listening to Harry Potter, which I know to some people is very problematic. J.K. Rowling has done and said some things that are, yeah. It's just that the characters themselves have come to life for me, and they seem to stand on their own. They once they've come out into the world, they've taken on their own life apart from their initial creator, which is what art does. It's why I can identify with a character who I've read about, or without knowing even anything about the creator of that character, because the character resonates with me in some way, or the characters or the story resonates with me in some way. I mean, the power of story, that it becomes bigger than its place of origin. It takes on its own life. Even our own stories, I learned some time ago that I could tell a story about my own life that once I've told it, takes on a life of its own, or is adapted by those who hear it and takes on different meanings for them. That's what stories will do. Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them so far. Let's see, do I have 2? And now I'm going to let them dry to the right tackiness, and apply some leaf to them, I think, and then show you how that's done.